Jungler hyper carry, call them whatever you want. But I can tell you for sure, it is one of the most exciting roles to play, and in this video I am here to tell you the top 12 heroes to pick to make this role even more exciting. Hi guys, Kazuki here, and in this video I am going to tell you what the top 12 jungler heroes to pick in the current meta are. So let's jump straight into the video. Question and answer round time. First question is from Prasant Malik, asking what is the sound coming in the background when I talk in the previous video. Sorry for the inconvenience, but as there was a function going on nearby, I was unable to record without noise. The second question is from Kun Kon Kang, asking if Natalia is getting a new skin. Natalia is getting a collector skin soon named Warrior Race Paragon, and we currently don't have its release date. So do ask your questions and keep an eye for the hidden codes in this video. In the 12th position we have Hylos. Hylos, a jungler? What? That's what I thought, but after playing him a few times I truly understood his effectiveness. Let's start up with Hylos. Hylos is the hero with the highest HP in MLBB. Extremely good poking ability, good jungling speed because of his second skill. Even though he has good pros, he is in the 12th spot because he has low damage output compared to other junglers. Tips for playing Hylos like a professional. Take advantage of Hylos and set up ganks. Hylos' ultimate and second skill is a slow nightmare. If you are ganking an enemy, it's almost impossible to escape. Combine Hylos with healing support like Angela, Florin or Rafaela and Hylos becomes unkillable. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. You can screenshot them or pause. And guess in the comment why I chose this specific build for Hylos. In 11th place is Fredrin. Why do you think Fredrin is at this place? Comment down all Fredrin mains. Does he rank higher or lower? Comment down your thoughts. What makes junglers like Fredrin and Hylos appear on this list? It is their ability to frontline and have a decent jungle clearing speed. Fredrin here is one of the best examples. Fredrin, due to his passive, can convert damage to HP, which is insane. Now Fredrin is much more balanced and fits the number 11 spot perfectly. Fredrin's ability to sustain and deal damage is extremely good. He can hold his own against 1 vs 2 and 1 vs 3 situations, which many heroes can't. But Fredrin is in this spot as many heroes on this list are just better than him at both jungling and damage. Fredrin also lacks a bit in mobility, which is crucial for jungler. Tips and tricks to play Fredrin as a jungler. Fredrin, due to his sustain, can gank and poke easily, so always gank whichever lanes needs help. Fredrin can also invade the enemy jungle, so take advantage and invade the enemy jungle as much as possible. Being a frontline hero, always play your role. Always support your team by building hybrid and not building him full attack like other junglers. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. Number 10, JJK ripoff. I mean Yin. Yin. Inexperienced players fear him, epic players ban him, I wonder why. Yin is one of the strongest heroes in 1 vs 1 situations. I mean he will make it 1 vs 1 even if it is 1 vs 5 with the power of domain expansion. I mean with the power of his ultimate. His ultimate is extremely unique and one kind. Jungle route is one of the best routes for him for his kidnapping. What do you guys think is the best jungle route for Yin to kidnap? He also has great mobility and great damage, but that is where his advantages end. Yin is extremely weak to CC. If his ultimate wasted in 1 vs 2 or even 1 vs 1, he is done. But still, his ability to dive backlines, kill their damage dealers, deserves his 10th spot for him. Tips and tricks for playing Yin. Yin has extremely good damage in the late game, so stop diving in team fights in the early game. Being a jungler, focus on your jungling objectives. Once you feel that you have sufficient damage, start diving into the backline and start capturing their enemy's main damage dealer. By capturing the damage dealer, you can still disrupt the enemy flow and help your teammates to take the enemy down. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 9 is Baksha. Baksha is in this spot because he has higher damage than Fredrin and a faster jungle clear than Hylos and great versatility and mobility compared to Yin. Baksha is one of the fastest hero in the entire game. I'm just saying that he is not picked enough. He's extremely fun to play, he can rotate to other lanes quickly and he can do decent damage due to his second skill. While he is good, but other heroes are just better compared to him now. Tips and tricks in playing Baksha. Take advantage of Baksha's mobility and rotate. Due to his mobility, Baksha can often catch enemies off guard. Being a tanky jungler, he has a surprisingly good jungle clear. Take advantage of that clearly and gank. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 8 is Hayabusa. Hayabusa is many things, an assassin, a very good jungler, one of the heroes with great mobility, and he also has his own harem. Hayabusa is quick, deadly and great in 1 vs 1. He can be untargetable whenever he uses his ultimate. He also can surprise a lot of enemies with his second skill. He truly fits the title of an assassin. To be honest, you can outplay even the number 1 here on the list if you are good enough. But what makes Hayabusa behind in the list is his difficulty of use and his ultimate. While his ultimate is extremely good, but it will fall short if it is used when enemies don't have full stacks of his passive and there are multiple targetable units nearby. Tips and tricks for Hayabusa. Even though you can dive in the backline, you always have to make sure that you apply full stacks of passive on your target. I know it's basic, but some people do not know how important it is. You are weak in the early game, so try not to get into team fights early on and focus on 1 vs 1 ganks. Once you have enough damage, whenever there is a team fight, dive into the backline and get the enemy damage dealer. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 7 is Jawhead. Jawhead is one of the strongest heroes in the early game. His kit is full of utility, it has CC, damage and mobility. He can even throw allied heroes, which is crazy and funny. For tips and tricks, take advantage of second skill and throw enemies out of position. There is also a flicker trick for Jawhead if you don't want to play him in the jungle. You can check out this video to see even more amazing tricks. His damage is insane in the early game. Take advantage and try to gank the enemies more so that they fall behind in gold and you can still maintain your damage even if it is late. Always try to end the game early if you go Jawhead jungle. At number 6, Granger. We are closing in on the top 5. Granger is a marksman. What makes a marksman OP? It's the amount of gold and experience lead they can have. What is the fastest way to gain experience and gold? It's jungling. Marksmen are not usually designed to jungle because they are squishy and don't have that much damage in the early game. But Granger is a special case. The way his skill set is made is extremely good for jungling. Just with a little bit of support, you can jungle easily. And his damage is crazy if he is fully farmed up. For tips and tricks, always hold on to your last bullet. It's crucial in team fights. Try to enter team fights with your last bullet, then first skill reposition yourself a little bit far from enemies and ult to finish off any enemies who are running away. To double dash, use your skill 2 first and then skill 1 to have the cooldown on your skill 2 to get reset. Here are the suggested builds. What do you think? Will this build work for him? We are in the top 5 and it's Martis. Martis is truly a killing machine. He's one of my favorite heroes. Martis in the early game is truly a beast. He even also might be invincible as he says. Where Martis lakes is in the late game. But no worries as he can frontline easily Just slap on some defense items and voila, Mr. Invincible will win all fights if played right. Tips and tricks. Marty's ultimate is amazing, one of the only few heroes who have built in execute, use it at the right time. Maniacs and savages is nothing for a true marksman. He is a hero with extremely good utility. He has CC immune, true damage, mobility and CC. Lower ranks fear him like he is the end of everyone. There is a reason why they do it. Frontline. If your damage falls off, the frontline Martis is an extremely good frontline. And don't worry, your kills won't go away because of his ultimate. For Martis, build suggestions are here. You can pause, take screenshots or memorize, do whatever you want, but don't miss out on playing one of the coolest heroes. At the number 4 spot, we have Alucard. After the latest patch, Alucard has become much more viable option for jungling. Now not only does he have a low cooldown, but he also has damage and lifesteal to back it up. Tips and tricks for Alucard. Take advantage of his short cooldowns and his wonderful sustain. Alucard now can easily sustain in, so try to dive into the backline with his first, and once the main damage dealer is dealt with, you can either retreat or take care of others with the help of your teammates. Alucard has a great jungle clearing speed, so take advantage and clear your jungle and focus on ganks as much as possible. Here are the suggested builds and emblems for Alucard. At number 3 is our Akakage Hanzo. Hanzo is probably the best jungler if you consider only the objectives, and there is no other jungler that can meet the speed of Hanzo. His ultimate is unique whenever he uses it. He faces out and goes through walls, but his body is left behind and becomes extremely weak. But it doesn't matter if you have great map awareness. You can still go on a killing spree by knowing when, how and where to retreat his body. Tips and tricks. You know if you are not in a solo queue and with some friends, you can bet your body. It works well. Invade the jungle, you can do it easily. You can make the enemy like Fanny Ling cry. Here are the suggested builds and emblems. At number 2, Hellcut. Hellcut is one of the classic assassins. Hellcut has always been either decent or OP depending on your skill level. Hellcut now is a very good jungle pick. He has decent jungle clearing speed and great damage and mobility. Moreover, the ability to blind and silence. Tips and tricks. Hellcut is one of the only hero other than your epic rank teammates that can blind the enemies, so take advantage. ML has a lot of things which will help you win, and one of them is vision. So take advantage and never waste your ultimate. And use it at the right time. Hellcut also has silence in his arsenal, so take advantage. Silence the hero with pesky skills which you don't want to deal with. Here are the build and suggested emblems. At number 1, we have Octoboy, you guessed it, Ben. Ben has become truly terrifying with latest updates. Ben can sustain with his second skill, CC with ultimate, and deal a lot of damage with his first. His jungle clear is amazing. Ben can be built either through magic or physical. Tips and tricks. Ben's ultimate is the best CC disruptor. Ben when built physically can take down 70% of squishy heroes' HP. Ben when built magical can do the same thing with the second phase of his second skill, and the healing from the first phase is just insane. Ben's magic build. Ben's physical build. Ben's hybrid build. Pick and choose. Are you a deadly octopus or a magical octopus? What do you guys think about this list? Will you pick the above heroes? If you do, will you use the tips for them? That's it for this video guys. Thank you guys for watching. Keep supporting Kazuki Official.